Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning though to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta, where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando, well into the 90s the rest of the week. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid 50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a ½ inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid 70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1 inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches, so some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone.
Coop, you hear that?
You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255.
That's a lot
Here's
of numbers.
the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
Shh, quiet, Ryan. We're on the air.
I like how you turned the opening of the show into MST3K.
No.
We just need a couple of robot shadows.
The really,
I kind of hate it.
you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support.
I think it's unprofessional.
You think it's unprofessional? Have you not heard this program before?
I know, but like we paid John DeVincent a whole stack of cash to make that intro, and you're just trampling all over it.
Coop, I think he made like $650 right there by the mention of his name, right? Like
yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so.
I'm impressed that Ryan knows his name.
I'm just what I'm not impressed with is the fact it took us 13 years to start throwing shade on our own open.
You know.
But hey, everybody, guess what? It's a radio program. Let's do of all the radio shows we've ever done, Coop. This is going to be another one.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to take
another one.
Personal offense since it's this show, and I'm the one that wrote the open and put it together and all that stuff. You know.
You know what? That's a solid point.
Way to trample all over Coop's efforts.
That is a solid. All right, and scene. Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Tuesday, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
The 1st of May.
Is your mom okay?
Yeah, she's doing good.
MetroNews Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Coop, we started this week by telling a story, I think, about voting, right? Didn't we? We kind of danced around one of the templates of the show, which is like not to talk about politics. But we can tell jokes about voting, can't we?
Yeah,
as long as they're funny, as long as they're not too political.
About voting?
Just about voting in general.
Yeah, I think that in the long bend of this show that you've established yourself as a little bit of a election night nerd.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
And so I think that gives us. I think people understand that a lot of the time you're coming at from the data standpoint.
Yeah.
So I mean that's. It's politics, but it's taken the sports ball element, the sporty sport element.
Thank you.
And kind of converting it to that. So, I think it's okay.
It took me a while, but I finally looked at the Kornackis and the John Kings from CNN. Those guys probably would have been pretty successful weather people, right?
Oh, sure.
Because the way to be a big market weather guy is to, own that map. It's not just a cold front. It's a cold front. That kind of thing. But I am kind of an election nerd. And, we do talk a little bit about media coverage of the elections and stuff because I'm interested in that. But, we're really apolitical as far as that goes. 76 degrees here in the big town today. 76 degrees. No rain. When's the last time you mowed?
What was it, Saturday?
Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of cold out. It was nice.
Ryan, when was the last time you hired somebody to mow?
We got a guy that comes by each week.
You got a guy.
Yeah, we got a guy.
What do you do with your dog when he comes by? Just keep him locked in the closet, or does he like the guy who mows your lawn?
We just don't let him outside.
You just don't let him outside.
We aren't trapping him, if that's what you're suggesting.
That was kind of what I kind of was suggesting that.
He's got a spacious enough house. My dog's well-being is
we
fine.
know it's spacious. I mean, it'd have to be big. I mean, if it's got a drawbridge on it, it's got to be pretty large, right?
This guy right here.
This guy, I got this for this guy. Guess what it is? Oh, Coop, we got a Tickets Tuesday today. Now I've done my part. I have written all the questions.
Hey, yeah.
I have written all the questions. You had one job.
Yeah, I got tickets.
You got tickets. What are the dates of the tickets?
What date do you want them for?
Well, what do I have my choice of?
Well, the question is, do we want one of those business person specials? Business person specials, or do we want a weekend game? What was the last thing we gave away? It was a Sunday game, I think.
Yeah, those Sunday games are nice.
So we want a Sunday game because I have two options.
Let's talk about the teams. What teams we got?
Okay, now unfortunately, I mean we're all the way into June on these because the Reds go on a lot of road trips in May. And also, they black out some games for me.
Okay.
So we have as far as afternoons go, we have a Sunday afternoon with the Diamondbacks coming to town is the first one available.
Yeah, okay.
Which is June 14th.
Yeah, okay.
And then we have another afternoon with the Mets that following
Bingo,
Wednesday.
that's what we
there
want.
we go. Okay,
Yeah,
so June 17th with the Mets.
6:17.
That's
Mets.
a noon 40 first pitch.
Mets, and that's a 1:40.
12:40.
A 12:40. So that's a Thursday, right?
That is Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday.
Correction file's already getting large.
It's going to 12:40 first pitch at the GAB.
Love the Mets. It's all about the Mets.
Oh yeah, meet the Mets. So there you go. That's pretty good. Where do you think the Mets will be by then? So you can go.
New York.
We have some Mets fans, and then we have other fans who want to go. Kind of tease the Mets. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
There you go. So there you. Oh, so the categories today for Tickets Tuesday, and if you've never played. At 5:33, we open up the phone lines, and I'll tell you about the phone number later. It's a little different than the text line, so don't worry about that. But the categories today are horse racing's Triple Crown, Cinco de Mayo, and the mystery category. And in the mystery category, something that is revealed in the show today will be the answer to the mystery category. And I have to say, as always, how many years have we been doing Tickets Tuesday? Right? We've been doing Tickets Tuesday.
While now, yeah.
Well, and not only just Tickets Tuesday, we've done other giveaways that involve the phone and listeners and all that kind of stuff. How many times have we failed to give away stuff?
Did it happen once a couple weeks ago?
It's never happened.
Or do we just want to say that? Okay, it's never happened.
It's never happened.
Never happened. Never once.
Never happened.
Never once.
We have always successfully, we've always successfully, if you read our wiki, we have always successfully done everything we've attempted on this show, and that includes giveaway prizes.
Very good.
So those are, you got 2 tickets to go see the Reds host the Mets. That will be June 17th. It's a Wednesday, 12:40. I like those types of games. I mean, if you're in Charleston, what time would you leave if you were going to the game?
Oh,
8?
Yeah, probably, just to give yourself enough time.
Get you there, early enough to maybe have a little lunch.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Go to the Hall of Fame or something if you want to. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I'll meet you at the Votto clock.
Hey, yeah.
Right. I'll meet you at the Votto clock at noon, and then you'll rumble on into the stadium and watch the Mets stumble
like a boulder
into the ballpark, and Sunday's game for the Reds and the Pirates was 2:09.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right.
But chances are it won't be that short of a game. But allow yourself like 3.5 hours for the game, and then get back on the old Appalachian Highway and bring it on back to Charlie West. Right, and you'll be home. And you'll be home by sundown easily.
Yeah, not bad.
Easily,
it's a good day.
Yeah. Make sure you stop at that White Castle right before you get to the AA, because there's none of those in West Virginia. Might as well take advantage of that.
I downloaded, since I have YouTube Premium, as we've talked about on here before, I downloaded a bunch of vintage baseball games the last time that I went. And so basically just played those off my phone as I was driving out there to go see a game.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Which ones you watch?
Oh, there was a handful. I had some Reds games from the 70s, from the Big Red Machine era. Had a couple games from the 1990 season, so I was able to some games that I could swear that I remembered.
There you go.
I don't know if I really did or not, but I could swear that I remembered them. And then some random, like some Yankee stuff and some classic stuff with some classic players and stuff. It was good. It was fun.
Did you know that last night's game was on TV? Last night's game was one of those rare CW local TV broadcasts.
Oh, of the
Cubs and the Reds last night.
Yeah, I had it on the MLB channel. I didn't see it on that.
Now, see, I can't afford that. I'm just a lowly radio show host. But I did watch the CW.
Put your X Premium funds towards it. You'll be fine.
But I did watch the game, and once again, this just brings up bad memories for Linda and I. She just hates when her shows get preempted by the sporty sports.
Oh, CW, that's right. That's right.
She can't watch The Flash.
She can't watch Sullivan's Crossing. I'm sorry, honey.
Was she a big Supernatural fan back in the day?
It wasn't so much that. I mean, when I first got to Charleston, Channel 3 SAZ had the Reds package, and they would blow out stuff like once or twice a week. It didn't matter, right?
Yeah, right.
It was like, what's on tonight? Oh, it's Reds baseball. What's on tonight? Well, it's Marshall basketball. What happened to the West Wing? Who cares? It's running in the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m.
Right.
And then that would happen also back in the old days with WVU basketball syndicated games. And, it didn't do any good to complain because sales could sell those things out. But there were people who wanted to see those types of shows.
It seems like every once in a while you'll still see, man, does that not happen anymore? I mean, has it just been recently? Because it seems like it hasn't been all that long ago. You would still have like a syndicated basketball game preempt like Jeopardy or something. Does that not happen anymore?
I don't think it happens anymore.
Gosh, are you serious? I never even thought of it. I mean, that used to be, it seems like 5 years ago that was still happening fairly frequently.
Yeah.
So there's like none of those, all those loose games have been scooped up by the streamers, right?
Oh, man, I got stories for days about this kind of stuff. When I was at 8, we would have the Big East football package. And so you would spend a fortune to get the Big East football package because inside of it there might be 2 WVU games. And so people would call up and they're saying, why am I watching Rutgers play Temple instead of Oklahoma, Texas? I'm like, well, it's because in a month we're going to get a WVU game. Now, first rule of broadcasting, Ryan, don't pick up the phone. Don't pick up the phone because it always means trouble, right? It always means trouble. Couple of things I did want to get into today. Oh, did you watch any of the Met thing last night? The Met Gala?
It is the year 2026, and I've come to realize that I really still could not care less about the Met Gala.
It's a really curious program.
Like, I seriously, I know what a gala is, but I do not know what the Met Gala is. Like, I have no idea. I've never cared about it. I've never watched it.
It's like it's not an award show, but there's a red carpet anyway.
It's like everybody patting themselves on the back, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
And that basically, and I have to admit, there's some people there that I like as entertainers, and I lose a little. I know that you just go, but I lose a little respect. I'm like, man, that's such a trash heap place to go.
Oh, man.
I mean, in this day and age, that seems like a trash heap thing to do.
I think there's like some kind of charity thing involved.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there's a charity thing involved.
Which makes them feel a little better about patting themselves on the back.
But all you have to do is watch it for like 90 seconds, and then you realize, well, people hate us.
Us as people, as humans?
us as Americans, man. They just, what are we doing here? I guess what's Beyonce do with that thing? Does she like cover her car with it now?
I only saw a little bit
one
of that.
time.
And then I saw like Stevie Nicks looking a little bit like she was going to take a tour of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I don't know. I have no idea.
But if you didn't know anything about this planet and you came as an alien and you turned and you saw that, what would you think?
Maybe those are my people. I don't know. You're an alien.
Woo,
they'd probably be like, wow, these are normal people.
Well, so, and, Amazon basically bought this. Did you see that? And I saw this story this morning about Jeff Bezos. Coop, I wish I had $1 for every time this has happened to me. Did you see where Bezos has sold his $500 million yacht because it's too big?
Oh,
wow.
How many times has that happened to... Tell me, how many times can West Virginians relate to this story?
Is he going to sell his jeans because they're too small?
His yacht is 417 feet long. It's got a glass bottom pool, 3 jacuzzis, a helipad, and can accommodate 18 guests. It's too big. It's just too big. So it's got to go. He's got a boat that helps bring along his yacht that's $75 million.
Dave?
Didn't we just talk about Animal House on here yesterday?
Animal Farm.
Or Animal
Farm.
Correction, we also talked about Animal House.
Yes, we did. Dave, here's a thought experiment for you.
Okay.
Name a West Virginian besides Jim Justice who could afford a yacht.
Ooh, I'm not sure if there is anybody out there.
Oh, there's West Virginians with yachts. There's got to be.
But would they spend? Well, would they spend $500 million
no, not
on a
that.
yacht?
No, not that.
And where are they gonna put the yacht? Like
in the canal, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, can the canal really support a yacht?
It's a big river. Yes, it can. It supports barges.
Yeah.
So,
get a canal down there with a glass bottom boat. That's what I'm talking about. A yacht with a glass bottom boat in the canal.
You could probably buy this yacht.
Ron Hughes needs to buy himself one of those.
I don't disagree with that. You could probably buy yourself this yacht. You could probably get a good deal for like $375 million for the world's largest.
If the radio station pitched in, we could probably get it.
One quick baseball.
The Hotline yacht.
The Hotline yacht. There you go. SS Hotline.
That's a great investment. We just have to sell sponsorship to it. It pays for itself.
And then we can take the show on the river, and we can go just wherever the Canal River leads. And
it's like a Mark Twain novel.
Huck Finn.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good. One quick baseball thing, Coop. I saw this today. It was on this date in 1975 that Herb Washington was released by the Oakland A's. Do you know who Herb Washington was?
I wish I could say yes, but
he was a great experiment. Herb Washington was a world-class sprinter that the A's had for part of 2 seasons, and the only thing he did was run. The only thing he did was run. He stole 31 bases. He scored 33 runs. He never had an at-bat.
Always a pinch runner?
Always a pinch runner. Always a pinch runner.
I mean, if you have the roster spot.
Well, that's eventually that's what happened.
Yeah.
But that's folks, that's what baseball in the 70s was kind of like. Like, I got an idea. Let's get a guy who can't bat but can really run fast.
I realize now where I'd heard the name before, although it wasn't like instant recall. I think that I ran across his name when people were talking about there was back in the maybe 90s or maybe it was late 80s or something. I can't remember. But remember, no, it must have been the 90s because it was Jerry Jones talking about signing sprinters to play for the Cowboys. And I think that there was like an article or something written that mentioned this, and I think that's why it was living a little bit in my head.
So he got released on this date in 1975 and then went back to track and field after that. Ended up owning like 30 McDonald's. Was very successful.
The picture, I looked him up as soon as you said that just so I could see, and I'm not otherwise familiar with him, but there is a picture of him with his head sticking through a big golden arch.
Yeah, there you go. He owned about 30 McDonald's. And then he went on to be a director of the Federal Reserve in New York. I mean, very accomplished guy.
What an interesting career.
Yeah, wildly interesting.
Put me in a car with that guy for a conversation. That sounds pretty good.
But, I mean, that was, it's kind of like the theory of the $6 million man. You know, we can build him. We can take this guy who's got this. He really wasn't that great a stolen base. I don't have the baseball
not the
reference.
88%.
No, he's like
65,
66%.
It's not worth it.
Well, that was back in the 70s, man.
They didn't know that back then.
We didn't. It was the pre-sabermetric era. We didn't value outs the way we do now.
And it's almost with stolen bases. It's almost like they ignored caught stealing.
Oh yeah, forget
it.
You
know, it's like you could be like 50 for 100, and they're like, man, 50 stolen bases is pretty good.
Yeah. We're just excited to have a guy down on second base. Look at him; he's down there and he's in scoring
position.
We're going to have to talk about the Reds game at some point.
Well, whatever.
Today.
Not while I'm here.
Well, that's true too. That is a fair point. Question of the day. So let's talk about Cinco de Mayo a little bit. Cinco de Mayo, by the way, is not Mexico's Independence Day. It celebrates the Mexican Army's 1862 victory over France in the Battle of Puebla. In the United States, it has evolved largely into a celebration of Mexican-American culture. It is also Revenge of the Fifth today, an unofficial Star Wars fan holiday celebrated on May the 5th, immediately following May the 4th, which Star Wars Day, which occurred yesterday. It serves as a pun on Episode 3. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Today is both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th. If you had to pick one, if you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? That is the question. Today is both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th. If you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. Tweet me. I'm on X at Weekly, WEEKLEY. And we already have some really, really interesting responses to that. If you follow me on X, I'm still there. You can jump in there, and the question of the day normally, what time's the question of the day normally get posted, Coop?
Oh, around
about 1:30-ish.
9?
Yeah.
16, 12?
I'm just asking you because I know you're not on X anymore.
Yeah, 1842.
I tell you what, Cinco de Mayo is a pretty interesting holiday, right?
Yeah, Stuffy Bunny Day as well today.
What is?
Stuffy Bunny Day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, I made it up.
That.
I made up a holiday for my daughter called Stuffy Bunny Day. I may have mentioned it on Monday. I can't remember. It was today. And, man, it really turned, like, I made a mistake. It turned into this was harder than Christmas because it was like the Stuffy Bunny comes to bring gifts for the Stuffies, So I thought it would be cute, something really neat to do, and then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. In my brain, I was thinking that she could hide the presents for the Stuffies because that was part of the Stuffy Bunny thing. But she, checkmated me. She was like, why would I hide the presents? The Stuffy Bunny does that. I was like,
whoa. Nice.
You're right, kid.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so basically I had to do she got some things for her Stuffies, and then I had to and then Stuffy Bunny had to do the rest. And Stuffy Bunny got a little tired because it ended up being like a whole thing.
You know what? That was a really entertaining anecdote. It beat having a local news spot, which we apparently didn't have today.
Well, Jeff is currently in the dentist chair. So
oh, really?
Running a little late.
That's okay. Well,
is he
coming back to? Is he coming back to the building later?
I'm sure he'll be here.
All right, we'll check in with him later. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. I told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on MetroNews Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning though to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta, where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando, well into the 90s the rest of the week. Panhandle, the Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid 50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a half inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid 70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1 inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches. So some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti-everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment, or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Oh, yeah.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. You know, here in just a sec, we're going to talk to Steve Greenberg. He's the man behind the Mountain State Collectors Convention that is coming to Charleston on May the 15th through the 17th. I was out there last year, man, had a great time. And I got to admit, the convention was bigger than I thought. It was really, really big, and there were a lot of people, and they got a lot of people that will be coming back this year. So we're going to talk about that in just a sec. Okay, so Coop and I were talking in the Crosstalk segment about Jeff Bezos. And Bezos, here's a problem that a lot of people really don't have. His yacht's too big. So he's got a $500 million yacht that's 417 feet long and has a helipad and a glass-bottom pool and can accommodate 18 guests. The problem is he can't go anywhere because he can't park it. There's nowhere to park the darn thing. So we were kicking this back and forth about who in West Virginia could have a yacht. Well, one of our listeners, 304-517, sent this in. Hey, Dave, there's lots of gentlemen in the energy sector that could afford yachts. I could name them, but you need to look up Chris Klein. And you know what? You're exactly right. Rest in peace, Chris. He's been gone for a few years, but he was big in the coal business and was born in Beckley and had a really interesting. He didn't have just one yacht; he had two, Mind Games, and his second yacht. It's on his Wikipedia, so it's got to be true. His second yacht was 205 feet. Had its own sub. Coop, this dude had a yacht that had a sub on it. So think about that. Taking that thing out in the middle of the ocean. It's like, I'm tired of being on the yacht. You know,
a sub.
A sub.
Yeah, see, I would rather have a sub than a yacht.
I know. But wouldn't that be cool to have a sub that would go back to the yacht? Vice versa?
I had a friend when I was, I don't know, probably less than a teenager. He was about my age, but him and a buddy of his built a submarine, and they got in all the newspapers around here.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it went underwater and everything, like a submarine should.
So once again, here our listeners know what they're talking about.
A yacht with a submarine.
A yacht with a sub.
It's very Dr. Evil.
It sort of is. And this is a West Virginian who had not one, but like traded up to a better yacht. Think about that. I guess that happens, right? You get your yacht, and you're thinking, this is cool, but what I need is a bigger yacht.
Yeah.
Bigger yacht. Steve Greenberg joins me now. He's the man behind the Mountain State Collectors Convention. How you doing today, Steve?
So I'm wondering if I could put a card show on a yacht.
You know what? That's not the worst idea. I got to tell you, Steve, I remember your convention from last year, and is it fair to say it was an over-the-top success? There were so many vendors and so many people who came from all over the tri-state to attend this thing. I'm guessing it's probably going to be even bigger this year. Is that what you're anticipating?
It is, and we can kind of prove that already. Last year we had 130 some tables, and we're about 200 this year. So that's because it was very successful the first year.
All right, so how many tables are still available? And if somebody's out there and they want to bring their stuff in to see if they can sell some stuff, how much does it cost to get a table?
Very affordable. $100 for 3 days. It's an 8-foot table. We don't have many left, but we do have a couple, and they can just go right on our website, greeniesportscards.com.
All right, there you go, greeniesportscards.com. That's going to be May the 15th through the 17th, so it's a Friday through a Sunday. You know, from your perspective, well, first of all, let me ask you, how did you get involved in the business? How did you get started?
Yeah, I mean, like anybody that collected cards back in the day, I had a great collection growing up and went through the high school, college years. And after college, I went out, got a job, and was selling cards on the side. And one day I was able to make a car payment from selling cards. And I'm like, maybe. And, I took a dive into it a little over 20 years ago, and knock on wood, metal, whatever, I haven't had to update my resume since.
Man, that's fantastic. It's really great when you find something that you love and you can actually make a living out of it. Let me ask you, what card set was it that really got the light turned on for you, that made you love the hobby?
Yes, I remember opening packs of 1983 Topps, and, you had Ryan Sandberg as a rookie and Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn, and I always loved, those players growing up. Obviously, my Cleveland teams, I love by default. We don't win, but we love them. And, but just those types of cards, the early 80s baseball was always my favorite.
All right. So what do you think? What's the most expensive item you've ever been involved in that was either sold or bought?
Interestingly, I didn't buy it or sell it, but somebody sold me some cards last year, took the money that I gave them for those cards, went and bought a box of cards and hit a Shohei Ohtani and an Aaron Judge dual logo man, and they sold that card for $2.1 million.
Oh, my goodness. That's a great story. One of the things that really surprised me, and I guess I'm kind of old school when it comes to this hobby, but one of the things that really surprised me when I went to the convention last year, and we're talking with Steve Greenberg, the Mountain State Collectors Convention is coming up here in Charleston at the Civic Center Coliseum. That will be May 15th through the 17th. The thing that really surprised me was how much interest there was in Pokemon.
Absolutely. It is. I'm not saying it's taken the world over, because it's been around since 1999. But, man, over the last couple of years, it has really jump-started. And, it has the anniversary coming up here. And it is as popular as ever. The trading card games with Pokemon and One Piece is another one that's really starting to gain some steam.
And it's not just cards. I mean, that was the other thing that surprised me about the convention last year was uniforms, autographs. I'm seeing where Herb Brooks' Olympic ring is going to come up from the Miracle on Ice Team USA squad from 1980 in Lake Placid. So it's not just cards. There's other stuff, too.
Yeah, memorabilia is a big part of the industry. Game-worn items or game-used things. I mean, that is really starting to gain a lot of traction. You see in these big auction houses the Babe Ruth jerseys and the millions of dollars that these items bring.
I think anybody who comes to this convention, one of the things they're going to see that might surprise them is how many father and son or father and daughter teams there are that work their way through the convention.
Yeah, no question. I'm glad you said daughter, because with the WNBA now taking everything by storm, there's a lot of demand for women's sports cards, and and men collect them too. It's not just a women's thing. So a lot of family event type things.
By the way, if you're interested and you got a question for Steve about collectibles, we normally do twice a month. We do segments on this program about sports collectibles, and we get a lot of questions. If you have a question for Steve about sports collectibles, he'll be with us for a couple more minutes. 304-TALK, 304-304-8255-304. All right, so you're in the Cleveland area. So what kind of stuff is hot now in Cleveland? Cavs stuff, old Indian stuff. Who's the hottest Browns card amongst? Well, is Myles Garrett like the hottest card you want on the Browns?
Yeah, Myles Garrett, right? I think we're rooting for Shador here.
Okay,
we've had 42 quarterbacks since 1999, and we're hoping we finally have one. We root for him, but listen. The Guardians right now in first place. Chase DeLauder as a rookie is having a good year. Travis Bazzano was just called up.
Right.
So we have a lot to root for. Yeah, the Cavs play in the second round tonight. They had a tough series, but you know what? They play on.
Yeah, the DeLauder, of course, has a West Virginia story. He played at Hedgesville High School here in West Virginia. What's the most valuable Cavs card besides LeBron?
Just LeBron.
Just LeBron.
Just LeBron.
See,
there's no second place.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm a Cavs guy. I've been a Cavs guy my whole life. So I come from the Bingo Smith era. So those are the guys. So those cards don't have much value, huh? Nate Thurman.
So the Miracle of Richfield team was terrific, and those guys do sell. And Jim Jones is still around with the team. So yeah, I mean, we still have an affinity to those guys. And all kidding aside, Donovan Mitchell is very popular here, right? I mean, he sells very well. Now we root for James Harden. We have potentially 2 Hall of Famers on this team.
Hey, by the way, Anthony Lewis is a regular guest on our show, and one of the things that he and I talked about from your convention last year was people who are WVU fans. There are so many tables that he did a great job just rolling through this convention last year and picking up cards of former WVU players that you normally don't see. But there are just so many people who are in this convention that if you're looking for really hard to find WVU stuff, you can find it at this event.
Yeah, you can. Anthony will be back this year, but yeah, we have a lot of people that from out of state bring their WVU cards or anybody that's from West Virginia, like Chase DeLauder that now plays in the big leagues. So yeah, if you're looking for some of those types of players, this is a good place to look.
All right, finally, and Steve, I do appreciate you coming on the show. It is the Mountain State Collectors Convention here at the Convention Center. That will be May 15th through May 17th. All right, I got $500. And I buy my way into this event in a few days. How would you suggest I spend it? What would I do with $500?
Collect what you like, right? I mean, it's really hard to say, this person's going to be the next coming. If I have to say somebody, I'm going to say Shohei Ohtani. That is a guy you can't go wrong with. But collect what you like, whether it's WVU, whether you like Minnesota Vikings or you like the Oklahoma City Thunder. Collect who you like and enjoy those players.
All right, Steve, got to leave it there. Thanks for jumping on the show, and the best of luck with the Mountain State Collectors Convention here in Charleston in a few days.
Dave, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into the sound of sports. Stay tuned.
Brought to you by Salango Law. We'll return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too. That's a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. MetroNews Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back, and it is time to jump into the sound of sports, and we'll start with college baseball. WVU and Marshall meet here in Charleston tonight. It'll be the third meeting of the year between the Herd and the Mountaineers. WVU's won the first two games. Marshall down West Virginia in Charleston last year. WVU's coming off a weekend sweep of K-State, and after Sunday's game, Mountaineer coach Steve Sabins had these thoughts on how JUCO and Division II players on his roster are enjoying playing in the Big 12.
It's not always the case, but you go get the junior college guy or the Division II guy that was like riding in the yellow school bus eating soggy turkey sandwiches with old tomato on it and too much mayonnaise from the cafeteria, and they're like, wow, we got like P.F. Chang's after the ball game, right? Like we're in the big leagues, like, and so those guys, they just appreciate coaching and they appreciate the work and they appreciate the gear, and when they step out on the field in cream throwbacks and a sold-out stadium and their name on the jumbotron, they're like, I made it. I'm gonna perform. I'm here to do my thing. This is what I've been working for my whole life. Where I think sometimes the five-star can maybe lose a little bit of perspective of like what's going on here, which is a special thing, and it's the 1% of the 1% that get to do what we do.
The game tonight in Charleston is completely sold out. The first pitch is set for 6 o'clock at Gomart Ballpark. From the big leagues, the Pirates open a 6-game road trip with the first of 3 at Arizona tonight. Last night at Wrigley, arguably the toughest loss of the year for the Reds. Cincinnati took a 1-run lead to the ninth against the Cubs before Chicago walked it off in a 5-4 win. Pinch hitter Michael Conforto capped a 2-run ninth with a solo home run off Reds closer Emilio Pagan to end it.
3-2 now. Pagan at the belt. Payoff pitch. Fly ball. Left center field. This one back on its way. Ball game. Cubs win. Michael Conforto walks it off. And what a win here tonight. Holy cow.
Yeah. Be a hero.
His first career walk-off homer.
All right. The Reds have now lost 4 straight, while the Cubs have won a dozen in a row at home, the team's best streak at Wrigley since a 14-game run in 2008. Here's Pagan on that pitch to Conforto that ended the game.
Full count. You want to beat him in the zone. Yeah, just too much towards the middle of the plate.
And here's Terry Francona, the manager of the Reds, on that nightmarish ninth inning for the Reds and Pagan.
Yeah, he just left the ball out over the plate where he could get extended. He lead off triple, and it's tough it's tough. I mean, Dane is fighting the wall and the basket, and he kind of took a jab step, and you could see where he just kind of lost it off to the side of his glove. So we got to play the infield in, and I thought Boudet actually made a really pretty good throw just to even have a chance. And then he just left the ball out over the plate that he got extended on.
So on the bright side for the Reds, in his first start this season, Bryce Petty allowed 3 runs on 4 hits and 5 2/3 after being called up from AAA Louisville prior to the game on Monday. Lefty Andrew Abbott goes for the Reds tonight against Cubs veteran right-hander Jameson Taillon. In New York, the O's woes. continued last night. The Yanks' Aaron Judge ripped his 14th homer of the year in the first inning. A 2-run shot that got the Bombers rolling to a sweep of Baltimore of this 4-game set, 12-1.
Here's Judge. And the Yankees are threatening with their top-tier offensive attack already here in the first.
Does well against Boz. 4 for 10 with 2 home runs. High drive. Right center field. Going back to Varys. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Aaron Judge. A Judgian blast. Here comes the Judge.
Well, you nailed it, Michael. On a hanging slider, Judge nails it. And John Sterling would have come out of his seat, just like you did.
That was a nice touch. The Yankees have won 14 of their last 16. The O's have lost 5 straight, dropped a season-low 5 games under 500. Adley Rutschman scuffling in this series, going just 1 for 17 in this series with the Yanks. Here is O's managers Craig Albernaz on the lost weekend in New York.
Yeah, really disappointing. I mean, 4-game set and not win a game, it's really tough, frustrating. We got to bounce back. We got to bounce back in Miami and just play clean baseball and give ourselves a chance.
So the O's will send right-hander Chris Bassett to the mound tonight in Miami as the Marlins will counter with their ace Sandy Alcantara. One more MLB stop in Kansas City. The Guardians ran up against the red-hot Royals and things didn't work out last night. Michael Wacha needed only 79 pitches to get through 7 strong. Bobby Witt Jr. homered to spark a 4-run fourth as the Royals collared Cleveland 6-2.
Bobby Witt Jr. leads off the bottom of the 4th inning, facing righty Tanner Bybee.
I have to tell you how good of a hitter Bobby Witt Jr. is. And there's another hanging breaking ball. Right on cue. And the Royals are on the board. We're talking about hanging breaking balls out of the hand of Tanner Bybee. And Bobby Witt Jr. does it for a 3rd time against Tanner Bybee, a 3rd time on the season. This ball was blasted.
So Witt is starting to heat up after going the first 27 games of the year without a homer. He's got 3 in his last 8 games. The Royals have won 4 in a row, 8 of their last 10. The Guardians' Gavin Williams has been great so far this year. He'll go for his 6th win tonight in KC. Let's take a break, and we'll wrap the hour in just a moment.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on $MetroNews Television.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show, but we're just getting warmed up. We will take a break at the top of the hour. When we come back, it's been a very interesting day in the market. The market is up. In fact, NASDAQ at the moment is setting an all-time high. We'll see if that holds for the next 45 seconds or so. Dave Bryan from Steeler Depot will be here to talk about Steeler football. Oh, we got our Hockey Insider coming up at 4:33 today as well. The Penguin season may be over, but there's still a lot of drama going on with the Pens. We'll get into it. This is MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning, though, to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta, where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando, well into the 90s the rest of the week. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid 50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a ½ inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid 70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1 inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches, so some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour
navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more
from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, how do you do? Metro News Hotline. Keeping you company here in the afternoon in West Virginia. We get going every weekday afternoon at 3:06. Take you right through until 6 o'clock. Hey, wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We hope you're having a good one. Beautiful day. Chamber of Commerce Day here in Charleston. 76 degrees outside as we operate out of our flagship 580 WCHS. Perfect weather. We've got the WVU Marshall baseball game coming up in less than 2 hours at Gomart Ballpark here in town, about a half a dozen blocks from where we're operating at our flagship 580 WCHS. So it should be a great night at the ballpark. So, hey, just be aware that game's completely sold out. So you want to get over there and find a good place to park. And there's tons of parking over there, but just be aware of that. Give yourself a little bit of extra time. We got all kinds of stuff we're going to get into in this particular hour. We will take a look at what happened in the financial markets today. We'll reset our question of the day, and it's related to Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. We'll do a little Steeler talk here with Dave Bryan from Steeler Depot here in just a couple of minutes. We've got an entertainment report coming your way at 4:25 this afternoon. Oh, Alex Wierderspiel is going to be skating in here, our Metro News hockey insider, at 4:33. So we'll get a little ice time with Alex. That'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour. Also in this hour, we'll open up the On This Date file at around 4:50-ish. And then we got the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports in about 52 minutes or so. 5 o'clock hour. You know, Coop and I haven't had a chance to really talk too much about the Reds game last night. So we'll get into a little bit of Major League Baseball talk at the top of the 5. Play in or out at 5:25. And then at 5:33, it'll be time for a Tickets Tuesday. Tickets Tuesday. And speaking of the Reds, we've got 2 tickets to go see the Reds host the Mets. That'll be on Wednesday, June 17th. It's a 12:40 businessman special at Great American Ballpark. So if you've never experienced a Tickets Tuesday, it's a lot of fun. Tickets Tuesday, you get on the air with me. You pick your category. The categories rotate. Today's categories are Cinco de Mayo, horse racing Triple Crowns after last Saturday's run at the Kentucky Derby, and then the mystery category. And one note about the mystery category, the answer to the mystery category is something that will be revealed during the show. If you've been listening to the show the whole run from 3:06 right up until Tickets Tuesday at 5:33, the answer to that question has been revealed on the show. So you pick your category, you get the multiple choice question, answer it correctly, and you're on your way to see the Mets play the Reds. And we have not failed to give away the prize. Well, when we give it away, you have to win it. The prize in the history of the show. And I don't plan on breaking that streak today. So let's do that. That'll be coming up in less than 90 minutes. All right, we'll start the hour, as we always do at 4 o'clock, with what happened in the financial markets today. Pretty good day in the market, kind of a bounce-back day. Dow was up 0.75%, gained 356 points today, closing at 49,298. S&P 500 was up 0.8%, tacked on 59 points, 72.59 at the close. NASDAQ was up 1%, added 258 points, closing at 25,326. Amongst the stocks related to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today, hey, pretty good day for AEP. American Electric Power up 2.8%, tacked on $3.77, 138.43 at the close today. Caterpillar bouncing back today, up almost 3%, added $25.61, $900 a share even. And DuPont was up 8.5%, $3.87 to the good, 49.28 at the close. What about the energy space, you ask? Well, oil pulling back today. Oil's been all over the map the last couple of days. Oil down 3.5%, lost $3.74. WTI on the NYMEX still closing north of $100 at $102.68. Natural gas at the moment down 3.5%, down a dime, $2.77 per unit. And what about the Bitcoin today? Bitcoin is up almost $1,800, up 2.2%. A coin going for $81,704. All right, question of the day. Question of the day has to do with the fact that today is Cinco de Mayo. And our question of the day is sponsored by Salango Law. Today is both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th. I got a couple of Star Wars days this week. So, if you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? Today is both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th. If you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? Text those in, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X2 at Weekly, WEEKLEY. One word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, it might be the off-season. It's never the off-season for Dave Bryan. From Steeler Depot, let's talk a little Steeler football. All right, Dave Bryan coming in hot, talking about the Steelers. Hey, man, it's not going to be that long before we start talking about mini camp and then reporting to Latrobe, St. Vincent's College, and the season's going to be here before you know it, the exhibition season. Dave, how you doing today?
Happy Tuesday, Dave, and I'd like to show my age and start off by saying I'm more of a Space 1999 guy.
There you go.
Keep your people busy Googling that on
YouTube. I remember Space 1999 because you had Barbara Bain was on that show. You had the two people from Mission Impossible. They were on that program today. Who am I thinking of? Barbara Bain's husband was on that show, too. He was one of the guys. It was an English show, right? I think ITC did that show.
I'm going to have to go back now that I brought it up and watch a couple episodes myself, I think, to catch up.
Somebody's going to text me that in like the next 5 seconds. All right. Okay. Last week we didn't talk about Aaron Rodgers, did we? We didn't bring it up. Didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if we did about the unrestricted free agent tender that I don't know if we did or not.
No.
But yeah, that's the latest thing happening with him is they say it's rarely used, but it was used, I think, last offseason with a couple of guys, one with the Browns, and I think another player they had it used on too. But I think this is the first time that you've seen that particular type of tender used for a quarterback, especially one at that amount. And that amount comes in a little over $15 million for Aaron Rodgers. And the main crux of this is, it offers the team because of the unrestricted compensatory value signing period ended the Monday right after the draft. And then that becomes the deadline for teams to use that unrestricted free agent tag if indeed they want to receive some sort of compensation should they ultimately lose that player to another team between now and the start of training camp there. So that's where we're at right now. I don't know if it really changes anything. I know that I think Art Rooney II came out since then and said, look, they alerted Aaron Rodgers and his people that were going to use that. He basically described it as insurance in case Aaron, was to decide to maybe sign elsewhere and all. And here's more than anything, we now at least have kind of a bottom floor of what the Steelers will pay Aaron Rodgers if indeed he decides to come back to Pittsburgh in 2026, and that's a little bit more than $15 million. And it also puts out a kind of a marker on the table too. Say there's another team, and really how many can there be at this point that would have interest in him? I know the Arizona Cardinals, that's a team that's being thrown around right now, but they have Jacoby Brissett. I think they have Gardner Minshew, and they also drafted Carson Beck as well too. So, and I know Brissett's kind of unhappy with his pay right now. So I suppose if they really wanted to shift gears, and then obviously their offensive coordinator in Arizona is the former, has worked with Aaron Rodgers several times over the years there. So perhaps that's a dot connect there. But they would have to pay Aaron Rodgers more than $15 million, obviously more than what the Steelers would want to pay him. And then you have to look at it too. Is it as favorable as a situation as it potentially would be in 2026 with the Steelers? Would Aaron Rodgers have a legitimate chance in that division, the NFC West, with loaded teams of the Rams and obviously the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks? I know Dale likes hearing that. Would he really have a chance at competing in that division? So I think right now, I still consider the Steelers the leader in the clubhouse. I don't really think Aaron Rodgers' feelings are hurt all that bad. Aaron likes people talking about him, and he seems to be a prime topic right now after the draft as well too. And yeah, we have OTAs coming up, so I imagine that's the next line in the sand when it comes to him. But my gut feeling tells me that it's still pretty much be the Steelers or nothing for Aaron Rodgers.
You know what? I think you encapsulated that perfectly. I think that's exactly right. We talked about this with Carl Lee, the former Vikings defensive back, on our show in the 5 o'clock hour yesterday about Jerry Dulack's piece yesterday in the Post-Gazette about that the Steelers front office is tired of waiting for Rodgers. They want him to make a decision so they can move on. I mean, the team's got a brand new coach. They want to go in a little bit of a different direction, the post-Tomlin era. Is that the way you're reading the situation too? That Dulac is essentially giving the Steelers position, and Aaron should essentially look at that article and say, this is what the Steelers are trying to make me do right now.
Not necessarily, because I think on the flip side, Aaron Rodgers views it as an officer and a gentleman situation. I've got nowhere else to go.
Okay, all right.
The whole scene there with when he's talking to the drill instructor, and really the Steelers don't. I mean, where else would they turn if Aaron Rodgers was to say, "Look, I'm either retiring or I want to sign with the Arizona Cardinals." You've got two essential rookie quarterbacks on the roster. You do have Mason Rudolph, but how far do you think that can get you? And I suppose if the Cardinals did end up cutting Jacoby Brissett to sign Aaron Rodgers, maybe Jacoby Brissett becomes maybe a direction they could go in. But I understand Jerry writing that. Maybe Jerry has some insight on this that others don't, and obviously has a good relationship with Art Rooney II and all. But I still don't see this as a hard deadline for the Steelers right now. Would they like him in by the time OTAs get underway? Yes. Definitely, they would probably like him by the start of mandatory minicamp. But I just think they're going to allow this thing to drag on, and some people say shame on the Steelers for letting it get this far, and I it's hard to disagree with that sentiment out there from a lot of the fan base, but I think they're just going to sit there and wait and leave this tag on him until they get a decision from him one way or the other, and then shift gears from there. But realistically, they don't have anywhere else to turn to at this point other than Rodgers if they seriously think that they want to be a competing team, especially when it comes to the important quarterback position in 2026.
All right. By the way, our texters are the best. I just received a message. It was Martin Landau. He's the other star from Space 1999. So,
I should have known that.
And they were on Mission Impossible together. All right, moving on. The PC wrote at Steeler Depot today about Nick Herbig. Give me the Cliff Notes version about this. The headline is Why Herbig Should Strongly Consider Betting on Himself This Season.
Yeah, everybody right now, I think if you ask a lot of the quote-unquote expert beat writers, they kind of make it sound like it's a foregone conclusion that Nick Herbig will sign a contract extension this offseason. And to me, it's not so fast, my friend, because Nick Herbig is in a curious situation, especially when you look at kind of comparatives around the NFL. And I pulled about, 5 other players that kind of comparative type situations, at least when you look at contracts and then stats that they've compiled over the last 2 seasons. And I think I've come up with a pretty fair market value range for Nick Herbig from anywhere from, I think 12 million to maybe even on the high side, 14.5 million, right around in there. And you have to ask yourself if Nick Herbig was to bet on himself this coming season, and you look what happened. 2 of the guys I have on this list are Dofe Owe and Boye Mafe, and both those guys were unrestricted free agents, and they cashed in nicely as unrestricted free agents this offseason. Mafe got $20 million APY, and Owe got $24 million, and I think Nick Herbig's a very comparable player to those 2 people there. So, and if you start looking ahead at prospective edge rushing unrestricted free agents next March, there's a good chance if Nick Herbig puts up, say, 7 sacks and about 40 pressures and even in a non-starting role, I think you could be looking at Nick Herbig as the prize edge rusher in free agency next season. And I think he could be facing a contract that would pay him maybe around $28 million a year. So I think Nick Herbig, and look, I don't think the Steelers are going to blow his doors off with a contract similar to that of Alex Highsmith, who's earning $17 million APY right now. And assuming that's the case, and it's not even in the neighborhood of, say, $15 million, I think it would be smart for his agent to really ask Nick if he's interested in betting on himself and how that could potentially pay off in free agency next year. So look, they're not going to do anything with Nick Herbig right now. If they do anything at all, probably be closer to the start of the regular season. We'll obviously all be talking about it more as we get into training camp and all, but this just goes to show, and I think my data laid it out here in this post that I did this morning, that I don't think it's a slam dunk that Nick Herbig signs a contract extension this offseason. And I think that I've made a pretty good argument that he could seriously or should seriously consider betting on himself in 2026.
You know what? I totally agree with that. And I'm sure his agent is well aware of these numbers that you roll out in this article. And by the way, if you follow me on X, I just retweeted this out. So it's posted at Steeler Depot today by Dave Bryan. So if you follow me on X at Weekly, WEEKLEY, check it out. It's a good read. Dave, got to leave it there. I'd like to talk more about Space 1999, but
I would too.
Thanks for coming on the show, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, have a blessed day, and I'll do my homework on Space 1999 between now and then. Have a great day.
All right, Dave Bryan from Steeler Depot. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with the Entertainment Report in just a minute.
Boating season is almost here, and there's no better place to start your family's adventure than Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Family owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer and true experts in boats, motors, and repairs. Explore their impressive inventory and score some of the best deals of the season right now. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com and get on the water in style. After all, the weekend's almost here.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider.
Or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The high price of fuel took its toll this weekend because yesterday Spirit Airlines shut down. Oh no, I have 3 more weeks of shows to do. Now I won't have Spirit Airlines jokes? Quick, somebody check on Arby's. The Spirit Airlines of shaved beef.
All right, 4:28 on the show, almost halfway home in this edition of Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. Time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
It looks like the case between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni won't be going to trial. The two sides had been engaged in a contentious fight over allegations of abuse on the set of the movie It Ends With Us. On Monday, lawyers for both actors announced they'd reached a settlement.
My coat of many colors that my mama made for me.
Dolly Parton has an update for fans on her health. The country star apologizing on social media for having to cancel her upcoming Las Vegas residency due to ongoing digestive and immune system issues. Parton says she's doing much better health-wise, but that she's still not up to stage performance level.
And of course I can't be dizzy carrying around banjos, guitars and such on 5-inch heels. And you know that I'm going to be wearing them.
And happy birthday to 16-time Grammy winner Adele, who's turning 38 today. Mike Dabusky, ABC News.
Mike, thank you. Tonight on the broadcast nets on ABC, it's the season finale of Will Trent at 8 o'clock, followed by back-to-back episodes of Betrayal, Secrets and Lies. CBS has got a brand new episode of NCIS, followed by new episodes of NCIS Origins and NCIS Sydney. NBA basketball in prime time tonight on NBC. Second round of the playoffs beginning at 8 o'clock. Fox has got Farmer Wants a Wife and Doc at 9 o'clock. We'll talk some hockey with our MetroNews hockey insider when we come back. This is MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning though to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta, where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando, well into the 90s the rest of the week. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid 50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a ½ inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid 70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1-inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches, so some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is
it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. 26 minutes until the hour. Alex Wierderspiel, our Metro News hockey insider, is going to join me here in just a sec. A little bit of action behind the curtain with the Pittsburgh Penguins and Geno Malkin's possible return, or maybe won't return to the team next year. What's Sidney Crosby got to say about this? Crosby's got one more year left on his deal. Malkin's deal has expired. Sid wants Geno back. Does Dubas want to bring those guys back? So we'll get into that in just a sec. By the way, our question of the day, let me do a quick reset on that, and then we'll talk a little hockey. So, question of the day, today's Cinco de Mayo, and Revenge of the 5th. If you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? Today's both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th, Star Wars holiday. If you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? And we've had some pretty interesting takes on this. Warm Weather Appreciator, though, says, Dave, neither. Not into Star Wars. Don't drink anymore, although I do love Mexican food. Jody Cook on X says, Dave, margaritas. Toddster, no, I'm not celebrating either one. Jennings weighed in on this, too. Margaritas and Mexican, I can watch Star Wars anytime I want. I suppose that's true. Alex Wiederspiel joins me now, our Metro News hockey insider, to get a little of his insight into what's going on the ice. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm good. Star Wars every day, but especially this week.
I was really hoping that the next time you were going to be on our show, we'd be talking about the Penguins in a second-round series, but the Flyers threw a wrench into that. Although, before we get into the Penn stuff, how you feeling about the Flyers after they lost in overtime last night in Raleigh? And now they're down 2-0.
Yeah, it's a huge missed opportunity. And they didn't play a great game. They played a great first period, and they played a great overtime. And this is something that's actually really been an issue for the Hurricanes in the past. And it was an issue for the Penguins, I think, in that Game 6 overtime. But if you don't capitalize on your chances, eventually you're going to lose. Like, you have to in the playoffs. It just is as simple as that. The numbers look great. The Flyers played a great period of hockey. They didn't capitalize. And eventually you're going to lose when you do that, especially against an opponent as good as Carolina.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the Pens. And I guess this Josh Yohe story in The Athletic today has got people buzzing about the pros and the cons of bringing Evgeny Malkin back for another season. He does not have a contract, and as I said in the setup to you, Sidney Crosby has indicated that he'd like Geno to come back. I think majority of the fans would like to see him come back too after the season that he had. Look into your magic 8 ball. How do you think this is going to play out? How do you break up the big three? How do you do it?
I still think, if I were a betting man, I still think Malkin returns to Pittsburgh for a couple of reasons. The big one being, of course, that Pittsburgh has a metric ton of cap space right now, right? They actually have the most available cap space at present of any team going into the 2026-2027 year. So when we hit this offseason, Pittsburgh's got the biggest war chest to play with, assuming that their ownership is willing to spend to the cap and that Kyle Dubas wants to spend to the cap if that's something he actually wants to do. He doesn't even need to do it. But I think the kind of key takeaway for me here is that he has a bunch of goodwill. Kyle Dubas, we've talked about it on your show before, the heater that he went on in order to get the Penguins into the playoffs, the move after move after move that he made that has successfully led to this point. And I just don't see any reason to harm the goodwill that he has built up in Pittsburgh when you look at a couple of things. One, he has that big contract, so he doesn't have to worry about it anyway. But two, Evgeny Malkin's not blocking anybody, right? He's not blocking a young player who's set to take a spot in the lineup. He's not going to cost them anything crazy against the cap, and they can afford him, even if he was going to cost them something that was maybe higher than expected because of the way he finished the year. They still have so much cap space, they'll be able to weaponize it outside of that. And I think your key here is that you've now seen that you cannot tank with Sidney Crosby. And we kind of knew that before, right? That this was a team incapable of truly tanking. And I think even if they regress next year, even if they take a small step back next year and they're not a playoff team, the odds are this is not going to be a team that's in a prime spot for a lottery position, and Malkin, one way or another, is not going to get them any closer to that in my mind. So I think it's an easy call to bring Malkin back in my mind.
All right, there's a lot of layers in this onion. Let's pull a couple of them back. Say, for example, Dumas wants to bring Malkin back. Does he bring him back on a one-year deal where it's essentially a farewell tour, or is it a multi-year deal? Or if Malkin, for whatever reason, and his representatives can't make a deal with Pittsburgh, does he retire or does he continue to play? Take any of those questions.
Yeah, it sounds like he wants to continue to play based on what I have heard. I think the most likely scenario is a one-year deal, full no movement clause. He'll have complete control. He can sign a 35-plus deal, which when you're older than 35 at the time of the signing, there are certain bonuses and structures that you can do to help out your team. Granted, the Penguins don't actually need that help because, again, so much salary cap room, but it's a nice little added thing for really veteran players. I would look at this and say, if Malkin is leaving, I think he's just going to try and hit the jackpot unless he's really desperate to win one more time. But that doesn't seem to be a huge priority for him. His number one priority seems to be in Pittsburgh. So I think as long as he doesn't feel disrespected, I think a one-year deal, we've actually seen this before where a one-year deal doesn't even necessarily mean impending retirement unless the player actually announces it. We've seen guys, I think Patrice Bergeron did this a couple years in a row before he finally called it quits in Boston, where he kept signing consecutive one-year deals in order to give his team the maximum flexibility.
All right, let's talk about Crosby a little bit. Crosby will be 39 at the beginning of next season. He's got 1 year left on his deal at 8.7 per, which is a very team-friendly deal. He is eligible for a contract extension on July 1st. Do you think that the Malkin situation will be resolved before that window for an extension for Crosby opens?
One way or another, I would imagine so. Now, there is no actual deadline other than Malkin going and hitting the open market, but because of the nature of what Malkin's next deal is going to look like, I don't think that necessarily is a crazy important deadline. It's not meaningless, but it's not the most important thing. I ultimately think, Crosby mentioned a couple days ago that he's kind of in wait and see mode. I think it would require a lot to convince him to leave. And after the season that they just had, how much fun it was, how much fun the style of play was, how into it the fans were, how excited everybody was to have relevant hockey back in Pittsburgh again, for a guy who has already made so many sacrifices for the franchise and has made it clear that the number of things that would have to occur for him to bail is a really high threshold. It would take a lot, in my mind, for Crosby, A, to leave, and B, even if he doesn't sign right on the dotted line on July 1st, to not at least have a new contract in place fairly quickly, maybe even before the next season begins.
You mentioned the Pens cap space. They've got $46 million. They got tons of cap space. Two things before we move off this, and there's so many questions about the Pens in the offseason, and we're talking with Alex Wierderspiel, our MetroNews hockey insider, about the Pens offseason after they were eliminated by the Flyers last week. What do you do with Erik Karlsson? What do you think the situation is with Karlsson? And with all of these players that the Penguins have who are older, the majority of their top scorers are all over 31 years old. What kind of impact on the offseason moves is Mario Lemieux having now that he's come back to the fold a little bit after the sale of the club?
Yeah, it's a fair question and one that I don't know I'm prepared to answer yet. So let me take Karlsson first. And Karlsson has a full no movement clause, so he can't be moved in any capacity without his permission. So I think you look at the history of these deals, and actually a couple months back when the trade deadline happened, I actually wrote about, actually even further back than that, when Artemi Panarin got traded by the New York Rangers, I wrote about this. If you look at the history of the last 5 or 6 guys who had full no movement clauses and a team tried to trade them, they all returned super underwhelming returns. And the reality is that Karlsson played really well this season, so I think the only reason you'd even consider trading him, and I think Kyle Dubas has already kind of mentioned that he's not going to look at this in the summer, is if you enter and have kind of a down year next season, right? And you are at the trade deadline, you're probably out of it. You consider doing something similar to what Washington did with John Carlson, who was a potential future Hall of Famer. Erik Karlsson, no relation, spelled differently, is a definite future Hall of Famer. You would then maybe approach him and say, is this something you would want to do? You're still not going to get a massive return, but it's sort of one of those instances where, because of the structure of the way the league works and the structure of Karlsson's deal, it's sort of a win-win scenario for everybody, as long as you acknowledge that you're not going to get some massive haul for him unless Karlsson himself actually says, hey, I've got a list of 2 or 3 teams and any one of them will do. Usually in these scenarios, when you try to trade a guy with a no movement, they usually come and say, this is where I want to go, make this deal or don't make a deal at all. And then they're walking for free. So the teams don't typically have a lot of leverage in that scenario.
All right, finally, the NHL draft lottery's tonight. So the draft lottery is tonight. The draft itself isn't until what, the 3rd week of June. But, at the beginning of the season, it looked like the Pens would certainly be in the draft lottery. They are not, right? They're not in the draft lottery tonight, correct?
No, they are not.
Okay. But the team that finishes first in the draft lottery, is it essentially a battle to see who gets to go after Gavin McKenna?
That does sound like the case right now. Based on some of the experts in the draft side of things, and that is a very specialized field, the NHL draft, McKenna is the favorite. He is not necessarily the prohibitive favorite. It is possible that Ivar Stenberg, who's a really, really talented Swedish player, could theoretically overtake him. There were points of this season where McKenna was kind of struggling in his freshman year at Penn State, where folks actually thought Stenberg had already overtaken him, and then McKenna had a monster finish to the season to kind of push back into that number 1 spot. There are a couple of defensemen, Chase Reed and Carson Carrells, who are both really popular players. I don't think either of them quite gets to number 1, but Corey Pronman of The Athletic actually ranked Reed as his number 1 skating prospect, so he has him over McKenna. And he usually has a pretty good feel. He was one of the first guys to nail Juraj Slafkovsky in 2021 over Shane Wright, who wound up going first overall. Wright fell to number 4. So I think McKenna, it's his to lose. I think he probably goes number 1. It's just not a lock yet.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of good information that I didn't know about the draft lottery. And as far as the NHL draft lottery is concerned, we're talking about the lowest rated 16 teams that are eligible? Is that how this works?
Yes, so the 16 teams who missed the playoffs are all eligible for the lottery, this has changed recently. So only teams who finish 1st through 11th in terms of their worst records are actually eligible to move up for the top spot. And the reason for that is you could only move up 10 spots from your original pick. So if, let's say the Detroit Red Wings actually traded their 1st-round pick to St. Louis and it's unprotected this year, if the Blues win the lottery, they're only moving up 10 spots. They're moving up to 5th overall in that scenario. It's not a very likely thing to occur, but it did actually occur last year where the Utah Mammoth moved up from 14 to 4. So it has happened. It's uncommon, but it's a new rule that we've seen come into effect once already.
Oh, good stuff, Alex. Hey, thanks for coming on for a little ice hockey talk. I do appreciate it. I'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, just as a tease for when we talk in 2 weeks, remind me of this, there is some scenario where the draft lottery could have an impact on the Penguins offseason. We'll save that for 2 weeks.
Oh, we'll talk about it then. Alex Wierderspiel, our MetroNews Hockey Insider. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time to open up the On This Date files. Stay tuned.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. 75 $5,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
this. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back to the show. Coop, we just got the most interesting text message from a listener wondering that, was it his mistake or did we skip the stock market report today? We did it. We did it. But
Man, I don't know that you've ever, even when the stock market's closed, you don't skip the stock market report. So, yeah, I know that one by default. I think.
We did it. We did it. It's always at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, right before a reset of the question of the day, if you're interested. But no, we had it today. All right, time now for On This Date. Let's get into the birthdays, and we'll start with the sports birthdays. Some interesting ones today. Charlie Nagy of the Indians, 59 years old today. Good pitcher, man. Good pitcher. Carlos Alcaraz, the most dominant player in professional tennis. He's only 23. Think about that. He's won the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, the French Open, the Australian. Only 23 years old today. Oh, how about this throwback? Terry Baker. Terry Baker won the Heisman Trophy in 1962 from Oregon State. He's 85 years old today. Here's a little bit more on Terry Baker.
The coach's nomination for the #1 quarterback in the country is Terry Baker of Oregon State. In addition to his gridiron heroics, Baker is an honor student in mechanical engineering, the president of his fraternity, and a starting guard on the Oregon State basketball team. Despite this schedule, Terry manages to find time for a date or two with pretty Marilyn Smith.
Oh.
Ah, yes, He's the All-American boy. On the gridiron, Baker's deeds of daring do are destined to become legendary. Terry's the national leader in total offense and just about the runningest quarterback to hit the collegiate scene in many a moon.
Many a moon. You don't hear that phrase too often. Think about Terry Baker. Great player in college. Great quarterback, too. An option quarterback. Couldn't throw. could not throw. And was out of the league in a couple of years. But he won the Heisman. Terry Baker, Heisman Trophy winner from Oregon State on the state. Won the Heisman in 1962. He's 85 years old today. Celebrity birthdays. Oh, Bill Ward, the drummer from Black Sabbath, is 78. Michael Palin of Monty Python is 83 years old today. Brian Williams, former NBC News anchor. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago. 67 years old today. Henry Cavill, Superman, 43 years old. Kurt Loder, MTV News, 81 years old today. Adele's 38. Chris Brown is 37. On this date, 1966, Willie Mays hits his 500th and 12th home run, and it came against the Giants' arch rivals, the Dodgers.
San Francisco's Candlestick Park is the setting for an historic sports event, witnessed by fans and cameramen alike. The Giants' star slugger, Willie Mays, is the big man of the moment. Dodger pitcher Claude Osteen delivers. Willie connects and hammers it 380 feet over the right field fence for his 512th round tripper. And he also hammers a new National League career home run record into the books. Willie said, "I knew it was gone when I hit it." Some 28,000 fans and his teammates gave the Say Hey Kid a thunderous ovation for his record-breaking four-bagger.
All right. And on this date, 1978, from baseball, Pete Rose becomes the 14th member of the 3,000 hit club. Only Rose and Ty Cobb have over 4,000 hits.
Rose leveling the bat. Rogers sights a sign from Carter. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Base hit left field. Pete Rose with base hit number 3,000 in his major league career as he lines a single to left. His teammates out of the dugout. Davey Concepcion followed closely by pitcher Doug Capilla. First base coach Ron Plaza congratulating Rose, and now the other members of the Cincinnati Reds ball club going out to first base to shake Pete's hand.
All right, and our musical birthday to the break, Ian McCullough of Echo and the Bunnymen is 67 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are next.
Fate up against your will through the thick and thin. He will wait until you give yourself to him.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti-everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. Marshall and WVU college baseball here in Charleston. First pitch in an hour at Gilmar Ballpark. From the Bigs, Bucks are back at it at the Diamondbacks tonight. Reds looking to snap a slide against the Cubs at Wrigley tonight. And the Dirty Birds, after a day off, will be at Long Island in the Atlantic League. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning though to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando well into the 90s the rest of the week. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid 50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a half inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid 70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1 inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches, so some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekly.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to begin the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. We get a little baseball, a little breaking news about the NFL, a little talk about WVU and Marshall baseball, MLB. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to do in this particular segment, leading into In or Out. That'll be at 5:25 this afternoon. And then at 5:33, I don't want to bury the lead here. We got a Tickets Tuesday now in about a half an hour. So at 5:33, we will open up the phone lines. And just a note, the phone number here is different than the text line. The phone number here is 800-765-8255. 800-765-8255. So if you've never experienced a Tickets Tuesday, that's a lot of fun. Once we get to 5:33, we'll open up the phone lines. Actually, probably open them up right after In or Out at 5:25 once that's concluded. So you get on the air with me, you pick your category. The categories rotate. Today's categories are horse racing's Triple Crown, in light of the fact that Kentucky Derby was Saturday night at Churchill Downs. It's Cinco de Mayo, so we have a Cinco de Mayo category. And then we've also got a mystery category. And the way the mystery category works, the answer to the mystery category question has already been revealed if you've been listening to the show. And I can tell you this, it's already been revealed. It's not going to be revealed in the next 20 minutes. It's already happened. We want you to keep listening, but I did want to give you a little clue there. It's already happened. So you pick your category, and you get a multiple choice question. You answer that question correctly, you win today's prize, which is a pretty good prize. 2 tickets to go see the Mets play the Reds in Cincinnati. It's a Wednesday afternoon game on June the 17th at 12:40 first pitch. So if you're in southern West Virginia or, anywhere in the state, you can basically get over to Cincinnati, see the ball game, and get on back probably before sundown. So that's the prize. It's a pretty good one. June 17th. It's a Wednesday, a 12:40 start at Great American Ballpark. Mets against the Cincinnati Reds. All right, question of the day. Question of the day. We've had some pretty interesting responses to this. We mentioned Cinco de Mayo. Question of the day. Today's both Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th, which is kind of another Star Wars day. It's a series of Star Wars days after May the 4th yesterday. So if you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? Today is Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th. If you had to pick a side, are you celebrating with margaritas or a Star Wars marathon? Weigh that and then send in your texts on that. And you can reach me on X as well. Text line here, 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. 304. And you can reach me on X too at weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, Coop, let's start with a little breaking news. A little breaking news from the world of the NFL. This has come in within the last few minutes. Dateline Boston, former Patriots receiver Stephon Diggs found not guilty of assaulting his private chef in a pay dispute. Four-time Pro Bowler pleaded not guilty in February to felony strangulation charges and a misdemeanor assault and battery charge stemming from the alleged dispute. The case centered on a December 2nd encounter at Diggs' home in Dedham, that's a suburb of Boston, where Jamila Adams, a former live-in personal chef who's known as Milla, testified he slapped and choked her during an argument. Diggs' attorney said the alleged assault never happened and questioned her credibility and whether the dispute was about money, relationship tensions, including a disagreement over a planned trip to Miami, or an alleged assault. So there you go. And if you're scoring at home, Diggs won this one, but it's not the only case he's got going.
He's got a few of them out there.
That's right.
There's probably a prediction market for it somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. So Diggs, who was released by the Patriots in March, said he categorically denied these allegations, called them unsubstantiated, and motivated by a financial dispute. So he was found not guilty of assault and strangulation. So he's got that going for him.
Oh.
All right. A couple other things. Oh, speaking of those types of things, let's talk about Trevor Bauer for a minute.
Oh, okay.
How about that for a 180-degree turn?
Yeah, man, Trevor Bauer's back.
So not only is he back, he's probably going to pitch this week against the Dirty Birds. Okay, the Dirty Birds were off yesterday. That's the normal off day in the Atlantic League. So they begin a series in Long Island tonight, okay? He pitched on Sunday. The Dirty Birds are there all week long. So if I'm looking at this situation correctly, Bauer's probably going to go Friday night.
Assuming he doesn't wear out his welcome.
Yeah, there's always that.
It seems to happen.
Yeah, there's always that. But that's pretty crazy, right? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
now, he's already thrown a 7-inning no-hitter.
Yeah, he threw that no-no.
So, and he's been fairly effective in the in the Atlantic League. I think most people think that he will either blow up or will be signed by another professional team before Long Island comes to Charleston, right? I think Long Island, because of the way the Atlantic League works, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I did check this a couple of weeks ago. I think Long Island only comes to Charleston for one series all year. So I don't know if we'll be able to see Trevor Bauer, but he is a curiosity.
Yeah, he is a little bit.
He's a curiosity.
I mean, he was in the MPB last year, a league that has a sub-3 league-wide ERA. He was 4-10 with a 4.51 ERA across 21 appearances. He went to the NPB minor leagues to end his run with that league. Who knows what will happen with the guy, but he is extraordinarily proud of himself, though. So that's the important thing.
College baseball. We're now about 45 minutes away from first pitch at Gomart Ballpark here in Charleston. Sold-out game between WVU and Marshall. WVU's won the first two games of the three this series between these two in-state schools, and they won them rather easily. But if you take a look at last year's game, Marshall beat West Virginia here in Charleston, so you never know what's really going to happen. Think about this game tonight. It's a Tuesday midweek game. Those always have a tendency to be a little high scoring. We'll see how that plays out. We have the starting pitchers, and actually, if I did a little digging, we probably have the lineups at this point. Here's the pitching matchup for the game tonight. For WVU, David Hagan, the right-hander, will go. He's had a good season, 3-1, 4.74 ERA in 19 innings, 16 Ks and 16 walks. Landon Dahl, the lefty, goes for Marshall. He's 2-3. Coop, get a load of this. This is really interesting. His ERA is almost 7. His ERA is 6.82. He's worked a lot. He's got 33 innings. He's got 41 Ks and only 11 walks. So think about that. His ERA is almost 7, but his ratio of strikeouts to walks is almost 4-1. That's weird.
He just throws
that is weird.
Apparently, just throws it really hard over the plate.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of like, here it is, hit it.
Yeah,
and
apparently people do.
And apparently they do. So his ERA, he's given up almost a run an inning. So we'll see what happens. So look alive at the ballpark tonight. Look alive. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Reds. One quick thing about the Reds and the Pirates today. Did you see that MLB has suspended Pirates right-hander Chris Davinsky for 3 games and fined him an undisclosed amount for intentionally throwing at Sal Stewart this weekend? Did you see that?
I thought it was so did Kelly get 1 game?
Kelly got 1 game. Okay.
I misread that.
Okay, here's the deal on that. When you have a suspension of this type, your manager is suspended automatically for a game.
Right.
Okay, so I guess maybe we'll find out before the first pitch tonight whether Davinsky is available for the Pirates bullpen tonight. But Kelly is going to serve his suspension tonight.
Yeah, you roll him out there tonight and wear his arm out, and then he gets 3 days off anyway. Works out perfect.
I guess so. But Kelly's going to be he's going to sit out this is the right way to do it. The Pirates start a 6-game road trip tonight, and this is the first game in Phoenix against the Diamondbacks. So he'll sit this out and be back tomorrow. Now, I've heard a lot about this situation, and a couple of things here. I think it was pretty clear if you watch this situation, and Jeff Jenkins was at the game. Davinsky, he sent a message with a pitch, but it's not like it hit the guy. He didn't hit him, and he wasn't even warned. So he threw a pitch inside after Stewart had called timeout right before Davinsky was getting ready to release the ball. He was immediately ejected from the game. He got a 3-game suspension, which he can appeal, and he can play while the thing is being appealed. And I don't know if he's going to appeal it or not. And the manager gets suspended for a game. That seems pretty harsh, doesn't it, for a situation where a guy didn't even get hit with the ball?
Yeah. I mean, that's weird. I don't know. Yeah, that's strange.
That's definitely strange. All right, let's talk a little bit about the game last night. It was kind of it was a really kind of a difficult loss for the Reds. But I have to tell you, man, the Cubs lineup is a whole lot of hurt. I mean,
sure.
From the top to the bottom, it's a whole lot of hurt. And I really felt like Petty pitched pretty well.
Oh, Petty did great.
I thought he pitched pretty well.
You should be able to give up 3 runs and win a baseball game against the Cubs. You should be able to do that. And he did a fine job. His best ever major league start. That was better than any start that he had last year. And he was kind of in the minor leagues this year, he's been kind of an if-then-that type of guy. He either goes out there and pitches really well or he gets blown up. So he brought his best stuff to the major leagues last night, did exactly what the Reds needed him to do.
All right, so, we mentioned Stewart, and, I saw some people panicking about the fact that he didn't really have any hits in the Pirates series. He got a hit last night.
Yeah.
He got a hit last night. The thing is that as far as the Reds lineup is concerned, when he's not hitting, the thing is magnified, okay? Because to this point of the season, without Suarez in there, that Ellie and Stewart have been basically carrying the offense.
Although to be with last night's issue, the issue wasn't really with the offense. I mean, they didn't score a ton of runs, and again, they're not hitting with runners in scoring position. But you had a lead going into the ninth. I mean, that's really all that you can ask. And you pay a guy to go out there and to try to close out some games for you. And I mean, Pagan's not a guy that's ever going to put the fear into the heart of anyone. It's just really a question of if it's one of the days he makes it or one of the days he doesn't, because they're much the same.
So a couple of things here. First of all, that was a really tough ball in the ninth inning that I don't want to say Myers misplayed it. I mean, PCA hit it to the wall.
He said he misplayed it, so I'll take his.
I've watched that play a couple of times. I mean, he's back there. He's searching for the ivy. It was a difficult play. He's right under the basket. He almost caught that ball. I don't know what percentage of outfielders in the major leagues make that catch, but he didn't make it, and PCA came around and he scored and he tied the game. The question, I think the bigger question is, what's the future of Pagan? You paid him $10 million to be the closer. What the last night's was his third blown save? 3? Yeah. Okay. What do you do?
I don't know. You don't have a lot of options. I mean, they've thought about Ashcraft maybe being somebody that they could put in there, but I mean, he walked a bunch of guys last night too, and he's been good this year, but he's struggling from time to time. Centillion, another guy that they're like, oh, this guy got everybody out at first, but he's been struggling a little bit recently.
He's supposed to be the closer in waiting, right?
He's supposed to be the closer in waiting, or maybe Connor Phillips. He's kind of the Connor Phillips was kind of the dark horse in that race if there was going to be a closer in waiting, a guy with a pretty devastating slider and a 100-mile-per-hour fastball that could do some work, and supposedly a great ground ball pitcher. He threw like 97 consecutive balls the other night too. One game doesn't make anything, so it's hard to tell. The thing is, with the recency bias, I'm having a hard time thinking about any of these guys that I want to close out a game right now.
I just kind of feel like, that this is why Francona gets paid to make decisions like this. So I'm sure he knows what he wants to do. But I think it's really pretty early to pull the plug on Pagan.
Yeah, and they're not. It's not like they can anyway. Frankly, last year it was closer by committee until Pagan sort of eked out being the primary closer by the end of the season. Just go back to what you were doing last year. I mean, do it by matchup and maybe guys that are hot or whatever it might be. Pagan is sort of your default, but I think it's okay if you don't have to go to that guy all the time.
A couple of just to wrap this up, Abbott gets the ball tonight, so this is what an ace is supposed to do. He's supposed to stop.
He's no ace, but yeah, I hope he does.
Well, he's the top of the rotation guy.
He is, but he's no ace.
And Tyone, who pitched here in Charleston with a power, and for the Pirates, he's been through a lot. He's a cancer survivor. He's had Tommy John surgery. Guy's been through a lot. He's around the plate a lot. He's not going to strike out a lot of batters, so he goes tonight for the Cubs. Should be a good game. And it's on our flagship, 580 WCHS.
A bad game is going to be the Reds hitting a lot of balls straight into the ground tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So let's take a break, and we'll play in or out in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Eli Henthorne, project surveyor at CEC. Starting my career at CEC was the best decision I ever made. I wanted to explore new areas in land surveying, and CEC offered just that. I've grown so much serving diverse markets and rapidly advancing my career, and it's more than just work. CEC is like family, supporting me every step of the way. CEC is where your career takes flight. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit CECinc.com.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. I told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, welcome back to the show, 525. Look, it's time to play In or Out. Matt Guitar Murphy has joined the festivities.
Hello.
Let's do it every day at this time. We focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it In or Out. Setup is simple, 3 categories, food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Because it was on this date in 1978 that Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfeld opened Ben & Jerry's. Opened Ben & Jerry's in a former Burlington, Vermont gas station. They couldn't afford the equipment they needed to make bagels, so they decided to get into the ice cream business instead, and now they're in competition with Haagen-Dazs. Ben & Jerry's, in or out?
Ben & Jerry's, I am generally in on Ben & Jerry's. You know, crazy thing about me, ice cream is good. You know, I like ice cream, but ice cream is not something that I pine for.
Okay.
Like, if it's there, it's good. If not, whatever. But I'm fine on Ben & Jerry's, but it's not something I go seek.
You know, one of the owners had a problem with the smell, but they had a high sense of taste, and that's why there are chunks in Ben & Jerry's. That's why there were more chunks in their ice cream originally than most that you find at the store. Matt, what are your thoughts here, Ben & Jerry's?
I'm glad they didn't make it into the bagel business because I don't know if I could have handled bagels with chunks in it. It's a little overpriced, but it's delicious. I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Can you eat an entire little carton?
Not in one setting.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Cherry Garcia, man. That's pretty tasty stuff. I'm in on Ben & Jerry's. Speaking of food, gut reactions next. Recent study found that consuming 2 to 4 eggs a week may slow cognitive decline in older adults, particularly women. Researchers tracked participants over 4 years and discovered frequent egg consumers showed slower mental deterioration compared to those who avoided eggs. 4 eggs a week, Coop. 4 eggs a week. In or out?
I mean, I don't know how real this is, but I think I clear that bar regardless. So sure, I'll be in.
All right. All right. Matt Guitar Murphy, 4 or more. Well, 4 eggs a week.
Okay.
4 eggs a week.
My grandmother is 88. Great cognitively. Hates eggs.
Hates eggs?
She hates them. She'll put them in if she bakes something. She will not eat eggs. So I don't know how true this is. I, however, like eggs. I eat an egg every day for breakfast.
Okay.
I'm in.
Man, I had the Bob Evans breakfast on Sunday for the first time in months.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Eggs?
Eggs, yes.
How do you have them?
Over medium.
Okay.
Absolutely in. All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity. Oh, guess who's not going to be at the PGA Championship this year?
Tiger Woods.
Phil Mickelson. Well, same era. Same era. Phil, lefty, has withdrawn from the competition due to a personal health matter with his family, he announced today.
Oh.
So Lefty's not going to be there. Lefty also did not take part in the Masters this year. So, I mean, he's won 6 majors, but Phil Mickelson, in or out?
Do you think he's out from under all that debt so he doesn't have to keep on playing? Or
Penny, for your thoughts about the demise of the Live Tour.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'd like to know how he feels about that.
That was his get out of literal jail free card, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not a fan.
Oh,
Phil Mickelson, in or out?
I was looking up some stats about him, and I also stumbled upon the fact his middle name is Alfred.
Nice.
Just because his middle name is Alfred and he's won 6 majors, I'll be slightly in.
You know what?
Could be Batman's butler.
Yeah. Coop, you're dead on. He's got some issues.
A few issues.
He's got some issues, but I always appreciated the fact that he appeared multiple times at the Greenbrier PGA events.
Oh, there you go.
So I appreciate that. So for that reason alone, I'll be slightly in.
What's that guy's Polymarket account look like?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like the marshmallow test for gamblers is not good.
Matt, thank you, brother.
Yes.
Phone lines are open for Tickets Tuesday. It's next, 800-765-8255. Let's get these lines lit. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello, a cool front on the way will bring some wet weather through the middle of the week along with below average temperatures. Charleston's high by Thursday, below average by 12 degrees. Gradually returning, though, to warmth like you feel today by Sunday. Similar trajectory with low temperatures. Friday morning, a low near 40 for Charleston, but some areas east could have a frost and freeze situation once more. Playing through this scenario here, by the early morning hours from the west, a wet situation settles across West Virginia. Some heavy rain at times, not anticipating severe thunderstorms though. Most of the accumulation happens by the early afternoon, but additional showers come and go across the area through the rest of our Wednesday and into Thursday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. This same cold front brings a cooling trend and some wet weather looking east to D.C., to Atlanta, where 2 inches of rain are possible. Meanwhile, Orlando, well into the 90s the rest of the week. The Panhandle forecast looking north for 0.8 to 0.6 of an inch of rain, then temperatures in low to mid-50s, staying cooler on our Wednesday with the northern spots not quite breaking 60 degrees. Meanwhile, looking east where we have less beneficial rain, but still a decent amount, generally under a half inch. Temperatures here a little milder overnight, closer to the 60-degree mark, and then managing low to mid-70s here for your Wednesday. Some will pick up more than an inch of rain, especially looking more near Snowshoe, Webster Springs, Sutton, Clay, maybe locally near Parsons and Elkins. Temperatures in this part of the region in the mid-50s overnight, and then topping off in the mid to upper 60s generally on Wednesday. That 1-inch potential does include Charleston, Logan representing that 1.5 inches. So some beneficial moisture on the way, bottoming out in mid-50s to near 60 here overnight, then topping off for your Wednesday in the mid-60s and low 70s. We will be briefly dry Friday, then more rain this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. Man, we got a lot of stuff happening on the program, and we are glad you're tuned in. Oh, man, it's time for a Tickets Tuesday. Tickets Tuesday. You know what? We'll begin playing the game when we get all the lines lit up. For those of you who are on hold, stay there. Stay there. We got you covered. But we do have a line that's open, so 800-765-8255, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. And just be aware that the phone number is a little different here than the text line. Once again, the phone number here, 800-765-8255. So Tickets Tuesday, here's how it works. Tickets Tuesday, you get on the air with me, you pick a category, the categories rotate. Today's categories are Horse Racing's Triple Crown, Cinco de Mayo, and the mystery category. And in the mystery category, the answer to the question has already been revealed on the show if you have been listening. You get the question correctly, you will win 2 tickets to go see the Reds play the Cincinnati. The Reds host the New York Mets, and it's a pretty good deal. The game is a Wednesday afternoon on June the 17th. It's a 12:40 start. So there you go. That's a pretty good prize. There's always a few Mets fans hanging around, and there's nothing like a midweek baseball game in Cincinnati. So that's the prize. 2 tickets to go see the Mets play the Reds in Cincinnati Wednesday, June 17th. It's a 12:40 start. All of our lines are now full. So if you're trying to get through, somebody's going to have to drop off before you get in there. So yeah, that's exactly right. All right, Coop, who's our first contestant/victim? All right, let's go to Tracy in Charleston. Hey, Tracy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just great.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in. So, which category would you like? The Horse Racing's Triple Crown, Cinco de Mayo, or the mystery category?
I don't know much about any of those, but I'll take Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Okay, there you go. All right. So Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people think that it stands for Mexican Independence Day. That's not the case at all. Cinco de Mayo talks about a badly outnumbered group of Mexican troops who defeated the French forces at the Battle of Puebla. The anniversary, Cinco de Mayo, is the 5th of May. It's observed as a regional holiday in Mexico, but as a cultural holiday in the United States. And let's be honest, it's an excuse for a Mexican-themed party, so that's what we like. So, in what year was the Battle of Puebla? Was it 1662, 1762, 1862, or 1962? Do you need the question again?
No, I'm going to take a guess and say 1862.
1862 is correct. 1862 is correct. So there you go, Tracy. Hey, man, listen, I think, is this the first time you've ever called and played Tickets Tuesday?
No, I played a month or two ago when they were giving away Chicago tickets, but I didn't get the right answer.
By the way, Coop, we got an update on that. We're going to get some more Chicago tickets, right?
Yes, indeed. I believe we have 2 more pair we're going to give away next Tuesday and the Tuesday after.
Sweet. So there you go. So, Tracy, stay on the line. Coop will get all your information, and we'll get you hooked up to go see the Mets play the Reds. By the way, when was the last time you went to a Major League Baseball game?
Gosh, it's been a long time. Actually, a friend of mine won tickets to the Reds game about 30 years ago and took me with him.
Nice. Hey, who are you going to...
I might have to give him a call.
Well, there you go. I was trying to figure out who you're going to take to the game.
Yeah, return call.
There you go. Hey, Tracy, stay on the line. Coop will get all your information, okay? Thanks for calling and thanks for listening, man. I do appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Coop, has anybody? Do we still have callers on the line?
Looks like Jeremy has held on for some torture.
Okay, let's get Jeremy on the air. He's our next contestant.
Morgantown Ravenswood.
Okay. Oh, Jeremy from Morgantown via Ravenswood. Jeremy, you're the next contestant / victim on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. Listen, would you have known that Cinco de Mayo question?
No, not even off the top of my head.
That's okay. All right, I have 2 categories left for absolutely no prizes, but tons of personal pride. Which category would you like? Horse racing's Triple Crown or the mystery category?
I'll take the mystery category.
I like the cut of your jib there, Jeremy. Living large there. All right. I talked about this in The Sound of Sports today. Today is the anniversary of Pete Rose collecting his 3,000th hit. So how many players have more than 4,000 career hits in Major League Baseball? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Man, I didn't listen, but I'm going to guess. I want to say 3.
You want to say 3? You sure you want to say 3?
Yeah.
Why don't you think that over?
Well, I knew there was somebody else, correct? I knew that, so I'm thinking, well, maybe there'd be one more.
Where are you, Jeremy? You're in Morgantown, but you're from Morgantown, but you're in Ravenswood now. Is that what's working for you?
No, I'm a Boilermaker. I'm up here working at the Fort Martin Power Plant.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Well, I was trying to give you a hint, man. That 3 is the incorrect answer, but I just wanted to keep you on the line because I enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, I love you guys' show.
All right, hey, man, thanks for – well, now you know how to play. Now you know how to play, and that is basically the way it works. Not everybody wins the first time they try to get in, but you know the drill now, so you'll be ready next time. And as Coop said, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be giving away well, we're not giving away. We're going to give listeners a chance to win tickets to Chicago, so maybe you'll get in there next week.
Yeah, I'll definitely be listening.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for calling in. And, hey, man, I appreciate you listening. All right, Coop, are we out of contestants / victims?
Yeah, the rest of the people, I guess, really would have preferred to win the tickets.
I know. You know, that really hurts my ego because I think people want to talk to me, right? But really what they want is the prizes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Go see the Reds. Go see the Reds play the
Mets.
The Mets, who are playing now.
The Mets.
Yeah, I know.
All right, are you ready for
what's left? What's left?
Well, we got 2. We got 2. We got the mystery category, and then we've got horse racing's Triple Crown.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we better go with the mystery category.
All right. So in the mystery category, we talked about this in The Sound of Sports. Today's the anniversary of Pete Rose's 3,000th hit. All right. So the question is, how many players have more than 4,000 career hits in Major League Baseball? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Man, this is super simple. 2.
That's right.
And there's only 2.
There's only 2. Rose has the record. He's got 42-56. And Ty Cobb 4,189 hits.
I don't think anybody else is in within, like, certainly no active players will ever get there.
I think Aaron is like 500 hits away. You know, I think he had like.
And that's
30...
Hank, not the current Aaron,
right?
Not Judge.
Yeah. So I think Aaron has got like 3,700 hits.
And that's, I mean, he was a good hitter, but that's from playing decades.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy. Nobody took. And we got to pay off. Here's one of my problems. You know, when we do like the breakdown of how the shows go, I always end up having questions where I roll them out and then don't answer them.
Right. So we have horse racing, and do we have an unanswered one?
No,
still?
we got
just
horse racing is the only unanswered question.
Hit me with
but it's still you know, it's kind of evergreen now because the Preakness is still coming up.
Okay, and you didn't give the question,
and I haven't given the question.
You better sit on that.
So the Belmont Stakes is out there too. So I mean, this thing could roll for a couple more weeks. You know what? I think I'm going to put a cap on this.
Study up on your horse racing out there. If you want Chicago tickets, you might see a horse racing question come up.
You know, I'm only saving myself work. If I just basically hold on to this question, I'm going to be able to burn it in the next couple of weeks, and the listener will have no idea that I've been sitting on the thing for days.
Unless they listen to the show.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's that. And there's
listeners happen to do that sometimes.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. That's a possibility. Okay, thanks to everybody who called in to play Tickets Tuesday. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but this is one of my favorite segments. I enjoy the questions, and I enjoy the interaction with the listeners.
It's a good time.
They're the best. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more in a moment.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back to the show. Man, this one has gone flying by today.
I can't believe it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
It's almost 6 o'clock. I know there are people out there driving around looking for places to park at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have my sympathy on that. You should. I know somebody's saying, "Hey, man, I just got out of work. I'm working my way over to the ballpark. Blah blah blah." I hear you.
Where are they playing at?
Gomart.
That's what I thought. Down
Yeah,
here, right?
so they're just like a couple of blocks away.
So look, we have this giant parking lot out here. I don't have anything to do for the next hour or so. If you got an extra $10 or so on you and you want somewhere to park, get enough people over here and I'll shuttle you over. I'll put you in one of the vans for work and I'll shuttle you over. I need at least to make it worth my while? 5 people, right? $50. I'm just kidding.
I'll tell you what, though, here we go again. What a perfect night for a ball game. Perfect night for a ball game over the ballpark. Temperature here in Charleston is around 75 degrees right now. Here's the thing. Marshall and WV were playing for the third time, right? So you'd think people would have had enough, right?
Oh, no.
Because you played one in Morgantown, you played one in Huntington, and now they're playing in Charleston. Game's completely sold out. Completely sold out. And it really is coming at kind of an odd time of the season where you're trying to get some, we like these midweek games, but WVU's got a huge set with Kansas this weekend. Really like one of the last direct shots that West Virginia has got at Kansas, who's sitting on the top of the Big 12 standings. So, we'll see what happens in the game tonight. But both of these teams, West Virginia and Marshall, go right back into conference play. We didn't mention anything about Herd softball. So, they kind of controlled their own destiny last weekend in their final season home series against James Madison. They ended up losing on Saturday. That turned out to be a big loss because if they had won that game, that would have impacted where they finished, whether they would have been the first or the second seed in the softball tournament in the Sun Belt Conference. So they will go into the Sun Belt Conference softball tournament as the number 2 seed, and they don't play until Thursday. Let's see. I've got the information here. There you go. They're going to play the winner of Georgia Southern and Coastal Carolina on Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the Sun Belt Conference quarterfinals at ULL. So they'll be in Lafayette for that game on Thursday. Yeah, that'll be okay. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. We were talking about this in the Crosstalk segment a little bit today about baseball. Did you see that? Did you see that clip of the guy who proposed at Fenway Park this weekend?
No, I didn't see that one.
All right. So a Red Sox fan named Douglas experienced a devastating public rejection when his girlfriend, Sarah Lynn, turned down his marriage proposal at Fenway Park on Sunday.
Gentlemen, why do you do this?
The proposal occurred in front of more than 35,000 fans at the Fens during the Sox 3-1 loss to Houston. He had coordinated with Fenway officials for the Jumbotron proposal stunt. The awkward moment was then recorded and amplified by the wife of the billionaire owner of the Red Sox, John Henry, who posted the video on social media with the caption, quote, quieter reaction on this one. Congratulations to Sarah and Douglas. The message appeared on the Jumbotron when she seemed visually shaking her head and looking uncertain. In the uncomfortable footage, Douglas attempted to end the moment by leaning in for a kiss. It was rough, Coop. It was rough.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at it now.
Why do we as men do this? Why do we do this?
I have read so many reactions from women that talk about these things, and it doesn't have to be at a stadium. It could be any of these public things that dudes for some reason get in their mind that this is like this isn't the romantic
It's
thing.
not the move,
dudes.
man.
The proposing at a baseball game in front of 35,000 strangers is not the romantic thing she's waiting for, and maybe why she said no. Look, man, I've been out of that game for a long time, but I see some of these things, and I'm like, no, man.
Just don't do this. Don't do this.
Frankly, I think it's a bad idea in front of Red Sox fans. I think it's a bad idea at your family dinner all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea in the middle of a walk with the restaurant. Whatever it is, it should be a moment between you and your loved one, I think. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's different for family to family, but this definitely feels like a terrible idea.
Do you think that maybe in the guy's mind he thinks that the pressure is on the girl to accept in this thing, to kind of go along with the game?
So if that's the case, holy cow, what a creep.
I know, that's so terrible.
It's like,
That's
let
so
me ask her
terrible.
publicly to marry me so she can't say no is a big red flag.
Yeah. There's a couple of TV ads that are running now that sort of see this kind of activity at the cookout.
Yeah.
And it's like, boy, I don't know.
I just think people should
know,
keep
man.
their business.
Yeah, I agree. But then, I mean, he went to the trouble of coordinating with the Red Sox.
There should be somebody.
my
There
goodness.
should be somebody for every baseball team who's like the counselor. That when the lunkhead dude comes in with whatever his grand design is for his marriage proposal, you have somebody that has some skills in talking to people. That's like, what's really on your mind?
I know.
What do you really want to get out of this?
I tell you what, once it doesn't happen, you're not going back, right? I mean, if she turns you down on the Jumbotron, that's a sign, man. That's, game over.
if
game
there's a way to
over.
parlay that into a marriage, it might be a healthy one. Honestly, if you've already stripped bare to that level of embarrassment for the husband, I mean, the chances of that marriage actually working out might be okay, because I mean, you basically suffered ego death, and that has to be a good thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Why would you put the one that you are professing to love and want to spend the rest of your life with? Why do you want to put them in that situation?
All right, here's an assumption. We know that marriages end on average in divorce, 52% of the time, right? What is the percentage of divorces amongst couples that got married following a stadium proposal? It's got to be higher than that, right? It's got to be higher than 52%. That's just an assumption.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the bad radio gigs is the to be married on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
By instantly, and then, of course, later on is you offer the divorce.
That's true.
It's a bad gig. By the way, three quick text messages that came through while we were talking. Number one from the 304-322, appreciate the hockey segment.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad. You know what? Alex Wierderspiel does a great job with that.
That's great.
We do a great job with that. We really enjoy doing that. We probably should have been doing that for years. We're doing it now, and we're going to continue that through the playoffs. Okay, that's going to go all the way through the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Bush League guy from the Pirates that got suspended, it looks like it's already been reduced to 2 games.
Okay, 2 games.
And then you had a trivia question that came in from the 304-549. Dave, do you know who Calvin Schiraldi's battery mate was when Rose broke the record?
Well, it was 78.
There's a hint if you want it.
Okay, I want the hint.
He became a Hall of Fame manager.
Oh, you got the answer?
Yes.
It's not Carlton Fisk, is it?
No.
I don't know. Who is it?
Bruce Bochy.
Bruce Bochy. That's outstanding.
Yeah, there we go. Good one. Good one.
Love it.
Good one.
All right. Hey, we got to take a break. We're back to Wrap It for the Day in a moment.
Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health, resulting in high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain social connections. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. Visit connecttoeffect.org to find resources and ways to stay connected. Presented by AARP Foundation with support from United Healthcare.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers. We need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Every day, we fight to preserve magnificent places and wildlife.
to keep our water and air safe and to advance clean energy and combat climate change. We're Earth Justice, a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment. We're Earth Justice, and we're here because the Earth needs a good lawyer. No one fights and wins more cases on the environment than we do. Want to join us in this fight? The time is now. Go to earthjustice.org today. That's earthjustice.org.
I was proud to be a soldier.
I told the truth and got kicked out.
And so I thought to myself, I'm taking this rule down.
If you're an LGBTQ+ veteran, your memories are important too. Share your story with the Library of Congress Veterans History Project, where firsthand accounts from U.S. military veterans are preserved and made accessible for researchers and future generations. Visit loc.gov/vets to submit your stories, photographs, and documents today.
Folks, we're late. We got to go. Stay tuned for the news and sports lines on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 3:06 right here on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.